Hey folks, it's time for the TWiP Pro Photo Critique number 117.
This is TWiP.
Hey folks, welcome back. It's time for that TWiP Pro Photo Critique. This one was all about heat. I want to say fire, but it's actually heat. Here to talk to join me in the critique session and kind of give some nitpickery about these heat shots is Mr. Troy Miller. Hey Troy, what's going on, man?
Hey, I'm melting over here. As my TWiP family knows, my AC is out. So,
which is why we had the heat topic, right?
Which is why we went to the heat topic. Yeah,
so,
that's all right though. It'll be fixed in 2 days. So I'll be wearing a beanie and a sweater and
you'll be in a good mood. You'll be in a good mood. Oh, that's horrible. I know exactly how you feel because, you know, I had the same issue in this room. This, like I've said many times, the room that I'm in right now is in a, let's call it, between refrigeration dimensions in my house. So the central air could be on. This room doesn't want to, because of the way the windows face, it just heats up and it's relentless for most of the day. So I had to bring in a little droid back there, my cooling droid, to bring things down to manageable temperatures.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yep. And it works. Yeah, R2 Cool 2 back there is doing its job. So,
nice.
So cool. So this week was about heat. Did you have a chance to? You have a chance to look through any of the submissions?
I did, and I am very excited about them. There are some really nice ones in here. They did good. A lot of diversity, and some of them prompt more questions than what the photo tells me. So that's good.
I know. All right, so I think we should just dive in and take a look at these. What do you think? So let me go ahead and switch the camera over to the MacBook Pro. There we are. All right, so we're in the TWiP Pro Photo Critique area. The first one up looks like it's from Jameslynne.
I love that. I love fire shots.
Fire! James says nothing beats the heat.
Yeah, the theme song.
Yeah. No, that reference was Tom Hanks' Castaway when he finally created fire. Remember?
Yeah.
Fire!
Yeah. And Talladega Nights, there was another reference to fire in there. All right, we're getting.
Oh, was there? You know, I've never seen Talladega Nights. I've never seen that.
Oh my God, it's so funny. It's ridiculous.
I've never seen it. Yeah. Both funny and ridiculous.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this shot? This one definitely satisfies the heat topic.
It does.
I'm going to be leaning on you for a lot of this critique because you are the pyromaniac of the community.
Yeah, fire is really difficult because it likes to overexpose because our cameras are very sensitive to red light. So, and there's a lot of infrared light that comes out of fire as well. So they tend to overexpose really easily. So the exposure in this is handled phenomenally well, which is really, really nice. And you can't really focus on fire because it doesn't really have sharp edges, so you got to have something to focus on for the most part. This is a little bit long exposure so that you get that nice movement in the flame, which I really love. The foreground is uneven, which tells me that we're like looking through a fire pit or something, which I like a lot. And then of course the log is in focus in the lower right corner in the third. So it's easy for us to stay in the frame and bounce our eyes around and really be drawn in. The only thing that I would fix is the hot spot in between the logs and the hot spot in the dead center right above the log. I would just try to pull some of that brightness down a little bit, but it's great. And it smells good. I can smell it. So
yeah, you hear the crackling, the little crackling of the fire. Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, cool shot. Hey, you feel that heat. This shot just reminds me of, we used to do bonfires at UCSB on the beach. This is like one of those bonfires. Everyone's just hanging out, and it's memories.
Yep, makes me think of camping. Well, I have a fire pit in my backyard, as you know. So
yes, you do.
You get this a little bit, yeah.
Are you going to have a fire pit sort of after party at Casa de Miller after F64 this year?
There is a plan. There is a plan in the works.
All right. I'll bring a log of wood to throw on here. All right, next shot up is from Nora Znotinas, and Nora says, Desperate for shade, feral horses in the ultra dry and hot Namib Desert. Usually they try to find shade by abandoned houses, but when desperate, a stop sign will do. Wow. Look at that.
I did not.
Nikon D700.
I never realized that there would be like feral horses, right? Like that just wasn't like my normal ecosystem.
Yeah. Well, when you think about it, everything was feral at some point, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
I really love the shot. It feels like something that I would see in like an old photo book, and I have some old photo books I've been trying to collect from like 1960s and early, late 50s, and this is like one of those photos that I would see in there. You know, the toning, the sort of mystery of it all, the vacantness of it, the absence of clouds. You know, the harsh shadows. It feels really lonely and hot.
It makes me thirsty just looking at this shot. Like
I know.
I'm like I've got dry mouth looking at it. It's very arid. It's got it looks like a very arid, dry environment, and then her processing pushes that even further because the processing is very devoid of color, arid, you know, and very simplistic. So very, very nice.
Right. And this is an image that I might even play with adding a little bit of dirt to, you know, like find a good filter and add some little dirt effects to it, so it feels a little bit more like film.
Like a little grunge in there, not too much, right?
Yeah, just maybe a couple scratches or, you know, whatever. Just that'd be something to play with. But I appreciate the vertical lines from the signpost, the nice horizontal line of the horizon that's not dead center, it's on the lower half, and then of course we've got that diagonal railroad tracks coming through there. Mm-hmm. I love that a lot. I would probably play with cropping down the top a little bit and maybe a little bit more off on the right. I think we just have an excess of space, but I do like the negative space there.
Yeah, I tend to like the negative space. Please tell me you wouldn't put clouds in this.
No. Yeah. This really needs that barrenness of the open
start,
sky.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so next shot. Thank you, Nora. Next shot up is from Armando Brook. And Armando says, boiling milk in the middle of the street of India. Yeah, so again, like you're saying, the formless fire, you have to focus on something within something sharp in that. But look at this. This is interesting because I was looking at this you look at it from a compositional standpoint. You've got this fire in the foreground with this frothy substance on top, which we now know as milk from the caption, and then it goes off. Like my brain is looking at the heat, and then the white looks cool, and then I'm off down the street there. I'm like, what's down there? Okay, let's go for a walk. You know?
Yeah. I wish there was more story around this, because for somebody that doesn't understand kind of what's going on, I think I want to see more of the street, more of the story. And then this is like the main hook, but there's secondary hooks in the image. I do think it's quite fascinating in the image itself. Maybe crop a little bit down from the top. I know there's people in there, so maybe that's significant to the story that I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
And I think no scale. I don't know how big it is.
Yeah. It's deceptive on the scale. You can see the people in the background, but it's compressed, so you're not exactly sure how far away they are.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. But this one, even cropped as is, I think would be great as a part of an overall picture story about this. Like, why are they boiling milk in the middle of the street? What's the story of that, right? What are they making, and why do people do it, and how long has it been going on? Just telling that story. This feels like a component of an overall story, which they tend to do if this picture itself doesn't stand on its own and tell the story. Then you want to see context, like what's around this. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, or zoom out, show me more of the environment, so my brain can interpolate a story out of what's going on in this shot.
Right, and it's amazing that this story prompts so many questions. This image prompts so many questions, which is really good. That's what we want to do with these photographs. But it's like in San Diego, they do the color run. I guess they do them everywhere, where they throw the powdered colors and stuff. And when I first saw that, I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm looking at. Like, to me, it's just a mix of color. And so sometimes photos are contextual to the person who took them, or maybe that environment that they're in, or that culture. But to the rest of us, we don't know what that means. So it's harder to connect to it. But I love the fact that we get to see, like, I've never seen a giant pot of boiling milk before. So
we do that every night. What are you talking about?
I think it's great that I get to see this. This is awesome.
And that's like that pot is like a witch cauldron, right? That's the pot that the witch used for Hansel and Gretel or something.
I want to know what it's made of. I want to know how heavy it is. I want to know more about it. I do love the image. I mean, just to go back to the image, I do love the image. I don't really have a lot of critiques for how to improve the image, other than I wish there was more story around it. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Very
and
nice.
It looks hot.
Very nice.
So well done.
It
with
does.
the heat reference. Yeah.
Yep. Love it. All right, Armando, thank you, sir. Next shot up is from Eric Pronsky. What's up, Eric? Eric says, "Cowboy, packing heat, FYI, blanks, and nobody was a target or got hurt." All right, where's the fun in that, man? Where's the fun? Come on. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, what is that gun shooting? I mean, if it's blanks, why is it spraying fire like that?
Yeah. You still don't want to be in front of that, do you?
No. Yeah, that'll take an eye out for sure. No.
Yeah. Compositionally, I really like this. I think that an image like this would do really well with a treatment, maybe very much like what Nora's had, to bring us a little bit more nostalgia, maybe some black and white, some texture, things like that.
Or even
really
sepia,
help.
Right? Like a sepia tone. And
bring us into the mood. Yeah.
Lean into the westernness of it, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
But great shot, good composition. I love that. I love that a lot.
You're not gonna hate on it because it amputated the horse or decapitated the horse.
It didn't really amputate the horse. I think that it did a good job. Like if there was one ear in there, or something, or a joint, I would be like a little bit more critical of it. But I think that where it's cropped, I think it's really, really well done, and it's easy for us to find our subject, which is the cowboy. And some dodging and burning, maybe to bring him out even more and darken around him, could help.
Yep, I agree. Cool shot. I love the expression on his face. He's serious.
Yeah, and I love the interpretation of heat.
Yeah, packing heat.
Yeah,
just packing heat. Love it. All right, on to our next shot. Peter Levshin. What's up, Peter? Peter says, "Okay, my second photo, first one got cut off over the Opera House. I couldn't work out how to delete it, so I have two. Hot air Burma. I didn't see the other one. Maybe we'll see it later."
Yeah, we'll see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this was shot in infrared, so that's really cool. And this is where you get those textures and patterns, right? Like I really love that. When I first saw this image, my first thought was, crop out the people and the basket, and show just the flame in the lower left-hand corner, and then the pattern of the balloon.
Oh, yeah. I'm holding up my hand. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I like it like this, though.
I do. I mean, it's good both ways, but I love the pattern of that balloon. And hot air ballooning is crazy cool to photograph. So,
you ever been up in one?
I have, actually. Yeah.
Really? I haven't. Yeah.
I know.
It seems like a single point of failure. I don't know.
I will tell you that I was a little frightened. But I had a buddy of mine. He's a hot air balloon pilot, and he's been a pilot for over 25 years, kind of thing. And he was flying, and I trust him. And Margie and I jumped in the basket, and we went up, and it was amazing. The landing was a little rough, but it was amazing. If you get a chance,
did you bring your camera?
I took my phone.
That's fine.
My camera. I may have taken my camera. I may have.
That's cool.
It was really quite stellar. It was in Kanab, Utah.
I want to fly a drone off of one of those and
Yeah, there's no drones around the hot air balloons.
That might end badly. So you lose control of that. It could, gravity could not be your friend that day. So.
Yeah. Great shot, Peter. I love it. I would crop it. I would just crop it. I love the texture.
I'd love to see a version of it cropped. Yeah, and yeah, you're talking take it more abstract, and that's
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like it. Cool. Peter Levshin, thank you, sir. All right, and our next shot up is here's the Peter Levshin he was talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the shot he was talking about.
He says, Sydney, New York Eve, middle of hot summer, hot fireworks, hot women, hot food, hot water, lots of smoke, hot dogs. Can't think of anything else. All right, let's take a look. Peter. Peter always adding color to the conversation. Look at that. Yeah, this is warm. This does feel warm.
Yeah, that's
on my list. The Sydney and just touch the Sydney Opera House is on my to-do list.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That's on the agenda. We got to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, for sure. What do you think of the shot? We can't give it too much time because it's Peter's second image, but
yeah, no. What I would say is that you've got the shot is really cool. I love the bridge, the smoke, the fireworks over the opera house. I love the boat, the big boat with the colors. I would take the other two boats out, the other two red, boats, and then have that one singular secondary hook in the middle of the big boat.
This guy right here, keep this one in there.
I would keep that one. I'd get rid of the other two little ones.
Okay, these guys. Okay.
Yeah, and then that way you overlook over the scene, the city, the fireworks. Oh, look at that boat. That's really cool. And then, oh, look at the bridge and the fireworks. And, oh, look at that boat. What are they doing on that boat? The other two boats are distracting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you.
But it's a cool shot.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
I think this is a better one, Peter. I think this is a better one. Should have stuck with this one.
See, never question yourself, Peter. Always go with your first.
Consider it now because it's his second image. So
yes. Sorry, Peter. Too bad. Peter's shaking his fist at the screen right now. All right. Oops. Next shot is from Lam. Lam says, my entry for Photo Critique 117, heat, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. The race is on. The gas-powered RC model cars are rocketing forwards in no time, except for number 5. The mechanic is frantically reaching out for the car.
Oh, I love it.
Let's take a look at that.
So we've gotten an additional interpretation of heat, which I love. I think that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's right. Yeah. A racing heat. Yeah.
Yeah. This is awesome. I can smell that. They burn nitro. And it is a very
These cars burn nitro? Really?
Yeah, nitromethane. Yeah, usually a 10% mixture of nitro. Wow. I have some monster trucks that burn nitro, and they're loud, and they're fast, and they smell awesome.
My big brother used to build our radio controlled cars and planes and stuff, and I remember that gas, the fuel that he used to have to kind of squeeze into the little fuel tank thing. Mm-hmm. I remember that smell. That's a very distinctive. It wasn't this fuel, obviously. It was more of a pedestrian fuel, but I remember that smell. It's really interesting.
For those that know that I like fire a lot, if you really want to make a good flame and you want to burn stuff, go down to the hobby shop and get yourself 10 or 20% nitro for these cars. That stuff burns so good because it's oily and it's got nitro in it. It smells bad. It'll make your eyes bleed, but
Yeah, but you got two eyes, so.
Right.
You got to back up.
To the shot, Lam. I love the shot. I love the composition. I love the cars on the left, kind of all discombobulated, out of order. The timing of the guys in the lower right-hand corner really tell a wonderful story. So I would probably crop up a tiny bit from the bottom.
Just a little, yeah. And maybe clone this foot out right here.
Yeah, that would be awesome if you could do that. Yeah, I think that would be. It just cleans up the view. And it's tight everywhere else. The other three parameters are tight except the bottom. We could bump that up a little bit. Not necessary, just maybe a preference.
Yep. Very cool. All right, Lam. Thank you, sir. Nice heat. All right, that was the last one.
That's it.
I believe that was it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, seven this time around. So really, really interesting. What do you think? You have any Any favorites that come to mind that stick out?
I really like Nora's. I really love the story, the mood of that image. I think that's a classic, timeless. It could have been made 100 years ago, or it could have been made yesterday.
Yeah. So I think, let me bring Nora's up here. There we go. That one? Yeah. That's nice. I agree with you. I like it. I almost hear that Clint Eastwood whistle. You know, the...
Yeah.
You hear it like, or hoofs walking, clunk, 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 clunk. Yeah.
Or coconut shells, so it sounds like the clunk.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I love it. Have you ever ridden a horse, Troy Miller?
Have I? No, I don't think I ever have. Horses scare the daylights out of me. They're big and powerful, and they have their own way of doing things. I've never learned horses.
Yeah, big, powerful, have their own way of doing things. That's me, man. What are you talking about? Oh man, yeah. So that's the second flag I've heard. So Troy Miller, not happy with horses or anything that has to do with the ocean.
Well, I love horses and I love the ocean. I just don't want to. I just don't want to ride a horse, and I just don't want to be in the ocean.
You don't want to be in the ocean, yeah.
Maybe but I've never had a chance to ride a horse. I've never been familiarized with them. I photographed them a lot of times, but there's always been a handler, and I
feel like you'd love it. I don't know. I feel like you would
probably
love, because you're used to ride dirt bikes and everything. Not that
Yeah.
Was it like 80 horsepower versus 1 horsepower? I guess.
Yeah, I do love the profile of the horses. I love what the horses represent. They're nice. They're very iconic.
Yep, love it. Well, this will be our favorite. I love it.
Yay!
Nora Znotinas, congratulations. You are this week's favorite.
Big clap.
Very cool. Yeah, very good. Well, get some coconuts and kind of. So we got to wrap this one up. What do you think for next week? Next week's topic.
I think that the community has been really communicative and they've participated a lot. So I think we should do open. I think it's just
done.
Let them
right
pick
there
and
with
choose,
you.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Let them pick and choose. Let's see what you got, audience, fans, listeners, community. What do you got? So bring your best shot forth, and it could be anything, as long as it's, it's able to be shown on YouTube. So just show us what you got. So we got to do one of these. Like this one, I don't think we should put restrictions on it that are, you have to go shoot it specifically. So, feel free to harvest your library, find something that you shot a while ago, or go shoot something specific for this one. But I think in an upcoming one, I think we're going to do the you have to shoot it specific for this one, and then one after that. You and I talked about this a little bit. I want to toy with the idea of giving folks a photo or a couple of photos, maybe one photo, and seeing the different processing interpretations of that photo. So here's a raw file, here's a raw file. Let's see what you would do to it. Would you retouch it? Would you take trees out? Would you add trees? Would you change the sky? Would that kind of stuff? And that way everyone is starting with the same data, and then we'll see how it kind of spreads out from there.
I like that idea a lot. Yeah, we have tinkered with that a bit. Yeah, we should definitely do that.
Absolutely. But for this one, for next week, number 118, it is open. So come as you are. Let's see what you got. Right.
That's right.
Any final announcements or anything you want to share before we end this one?
You just be safe and enjoy your days. Definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Reach out to somebody you haven't talked to in a while. Reach out to them. Yeah. Everybody's kind of through quarantine and all the other stuff we're going through. Just reach out to somebody. Be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. For extra credit on next week's open critique, I challenge you, TWiP Pro Community, to, and this is not the critique, but it could be part of the critique. You might get extra credit if you do this, but I challenge you to go out with your camera and commit a random act of kindness and photograph it. with your camera. Commit a random act of kindness, whether it be, giving a flower to someone that you never met before, or picking up some graffiti and throwing it away because you didn't have to, anything like that. Something that's a random act of kindness that is kind to the planet, kind to a fellow human being, something like that. Let's see what you got. Let's see if we can't.
Nice.
Let's see if we can't change the momentum of the planet a little bit right now.
No kidding. Right.
Things are spinning in the other direction. We need to, use our superpowers to kind of correct it. So, random act of kindness, and open critique. Let's see what you got next week.
I like it. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. All right, man. So we'll end on that one. Once again, congratulations to Nora. Look at that. Look at that one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a drink of water after this critique because that shot is parching me right now. I can't handle it. Cool, man. All right. Well, you enjoy your week. Congratulations on your finally long time coming air conditioning unit.
I know. I can't wait.
Yeah. This cool stuff is really nice. I like it. All right, man. All right, you go enjoy, and we will be in touch. You and I are going to talk before, but yeah, enjoy your week. Be safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. You too, buddy. Everybody, have a good one.
Peace.
This is TWiP.